What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the NECA Gargoyles Best Buy exclusive 2-pack where we get Goliath and Demona. So of course we've already had both of those figures before, so this is just a redo. So we're going to get some like different heads and probably different accessories. So we have the box here, which is pretty cool with the Phoenix Gate design there on the front, which plays a part in the story, and I'll go through that. But we'll go and spin it around to start off with. So we have Demona there, and then of course Goliath on the other side. Then we have both of them together with that Phoenix Gate, which is cool, and again different pictures of them with the accessories and all that, which is pretty cool for our two lovers there. And then we can open the box and see our two figures there. So there we get Goliath and Demona. Again, we've had these both before. Like I said, just different designs, and like Goliath comes with a bunch of different heads than we've had before. And it looks like Demona comes with a couple faces, so we can switch out her face as well. And of course, we'll compare them to those older figures, see how much has changed between them. And then they come with a few extra accessories, not a whole lot. I thought this pack would have a lot more, but it mostly comes with the additional heads and all that. But still pretty cool to get this. Like I said, hopefully they'll be better and improved figures, and we get for the folded wings for both of them, so that's always good as well, since that's what I always prefer. So nice to have that as well. So this is a pretty cool 2-pack. So let me go get these open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with looking at Goliath, which looks pretty cool. Of course, we've already had Goliath before, and I will show you that comparison. Looks mostly the same. I don't know if it'll come through on the camera, but there is minor like color differences. Like he overall is a more paler purple color, so a little bit lighter shade. His loincloth is a little bit lighter shade of brown as well. So just very minor changes, but mostly looks the same. Just the thing is we get extra accessories like the different head designs and face design that we can do with this one specifically. But overall looks just like Goliath, and Goliath we've had before talked about, so don't really have to go over that once again. Just like I said, a remake of the figure with a little bit of improvements with the collar, and then like I said, the extra heads and face designs. So for Moons, we'll get his head that will twist side to side. Of course, with the hair gets in the way a little bit, so it's hard to really get it to twist too much, but it can twist side to side there, and can look down that far and then up just about straight on because of the hair. So really not much movements at all in the neck. But then we get the shoulders that do come up pretty close to 90. Again, they're NECA figures, so hard to really get all the way up, but we get that far, and then can rotate around as well. Of course, just rubbing and not moving too easily here, but no major issues with it. Then we get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, which isn't too bad, just a little over 90 it looks like. And then the wrist will twist around and hinge back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch, so we get the upper ab crunch section, so crunch back and forth, not a whole lot, but just a little back and forth, and twist a little side to side. And then at the waist, of course, it's going to be hard to get a hold of all this. It does crunch and twist around as well. Then we go to the hips that will come up about that far, so not far off. Get a little bit of a thigh twist up in there as well. The single knee joint that will bend back that far at least, and it has some rotation in it. Then we go down to the foot, so we get the foot joint here, the ankle that can rock back and forth and twist side to side. And then we get the toe joint as well, that'll rock back and forth and twist a little side to side to get it adjusted to be able to stand, because of course with the gargoyles they stand up on their legs like this, so it's really hard to get them to stand. But thankfully we do get a tail included that does have some movement, so it will hinge back and forth, and of course can twist side to side. And there is a bendy wire in there, so you can bend it around and get it in different positions if you want to try and get him to stand. So unfortunately still not the best figure. Like as you saw, had some problems with the movements and doesn't have like the best range of movements, which is kind of expected for the NECA figures. I just wish the joints would move a little bit easier, even though we did heat them up and got them all loose, and they still just don't move that well. And of course with the gargoyles standing on their legs the way they do and stuff don't really work out the best, but we get it to work out and he's standing just fine. Now we do get a number of accessories, so like I said, mainly with this one is we get heads that we can switch out, but first we do also get a hair piece that we can switch out, so we can switch out his whole entire hair, so we get hair that's more to the front on him. So let's see what that looks like. So there's that same face, just with the hair, like I said, with a little bit more of it to the front, so still has the same overall shape and design, just has some hairs more coming to the front. So there we have, like I said, the normal face that came on it, where he's just stoic, maybe a little bit angry, but we get a number of faces. So we get a smiling face, so everyone who's got a little bit of a smirk. Now these easily just come off. You just grab the faces, and it's just two pegs holding it on to there, so it kind of looks funny without it, and you can slide these in, so switch out all these faces. So there he is with, like I said, a little bit of a smirk. Still looks kind of evil there, like he's plotting something, but we get that face. We did also get an angry face. We have this one, so that face has his teeth gritted. Like I said, he's getting more angry. Then for very angry, we get this one, so it's more like a yelling face, so that would be crazy. So there's the angry yelling face, and that looks pretty cool. Of course, I don't know what hair design I like the most. If I just want the hair that's all all the way back, or the one to the front here, because I feel like adding the more hair flow is nice, but I just don't know if it works well with the faces, or like certain faces you just have to pick and choose which ones, but I'll just go ahead and leave that one on for now. Then we get some extra hands. So first we get a set of fist hands, so we get just the normal fist, as well as a set of hands with grip hands, so we get some different size grips there for him, which with this grip hand we can give him a weapon as well. So on the box at least it showed him coming with this mace, so we get this mace weapon, which looks nice. So we get like the Morning Star ball, looks pretty nice with the nice sharp spikes on it there with the handle and stuff, so we can definitely put this into that grip hand. So there, Goliath has that mace now ready to fight some people off with that, so that is pretty cool. Like I said, not the coolest thing accessory wise and stuff, but again, just getting something different with him is pretty nice. So again, always nice to have extra accessories to go along with characters. So we get that mace, and then finally for Goliath we do get his wings as well, so we get the folded up wings with both of these characters today, so we can put the wings on him. So there's Goliath with those wings, and of course, like I said, doesn't really look all the best. We'll have to just sort of mess around and pick and choose what hairstyle, you know, face design we want and all that. But there he's got the wings and the mace there in his hand, so that is pretty nice, and I think overall looks decent. Like I said, we'll just have to mess around and get the different hairstyles and faces that we want. And then of course we have had the past Goliath as well, which is going to be hard to fit both of them in here together, especially with the wings. But this is the past one compared to this new one, which like I said, I don't think it'll show too much the different color variations, but this older Goliath, like I said, is a little bit darker color. There's barely any difference, like you can barely see it. Just hold him real close, you can just see that the older one is a little bit darker, along with the loincloth design again is darker on this older one. The wings on this new one do have much more of this like metallic-y blue design. This does have some metallic on it, it just really faded and not as noticeable, but the wings are going to be pretty much the same. Like I said, just switching out the different color there, but they're going to be very similar overall. The only difference that I wish this new one had is that it had the face like this, where it's got the all whited out eyes, like the angry face with the whited out eyes, because that's what I always like to give the gargoyles. And then this older one we have has the mark on there, like I think it fell or something and like got scratched up, so have an issue with that. So I was hoping this one would completely replace this old figure, but because of that we don't get that head at all, so it kind of stinks. They could have just, you know, easily whited out the eyes on one of the faces. But then like of course the painting of the teeth, which I do like these teeth now just looking at them, but they look much nicer and like cleaner and much more cartoony on this newer figure. So neither aren't bad, so especially if you messed out on this first one, this one will definitely be a good replacement. It just, like I said, doesn't come all with all the exact same stuff, and to me just has more of that cartoony face to it, so it doesn't look nearly as menacing. But as I've been saying, we'll have to pick around different heads and hair and stuff to try and figure out what we like for this figure. And then we get Demona, which was Goliath's lover, especially back in the 900s when we first see them in the series. And overall, she looks cool as well, very similar to the last one, just with a little bit different designs and improvements. So we have her face there. I love this face she's already got, where she just kind of got like an amused face or whatever, a little bit of smile to her. Love how they add the little gold rings in for her earrings, of course, the normal gargoyle pointed ears there. Her red hair that's all sort of poofed up, kind of like mullet style, short on top, long in the back that flows down, a little bit darker spray on there as well. And then we get her all blue body, so it looks pretty nice, just all like sort of basic, maybe a little bit lighter blue to it, but has similar like outfit design. So she has like this cloth material that's covering up some of her chest with the one strap going around to the back, and then she has the loincloth material as well, again in all the same design, the cream colored outfit with the belt around the waist. I love how she has the metal band there around her arm as well, and then down on her leg she has the metal band again, and this one is actually like a little metal ring or design or whatever, where this is just plastic stuck onto her. And just like Goliath, she of course has like the claws on her hands and her feet there, little spikes there on the back of her elbows, and the tail hanging off the back there as well. And for her movements, her head will twist around, so it'll twist around much easier than Goliath will. Even actually, I can go all the way around with her, and then can look down that far and then up just about straight on again because of the hair. So at least she does have some movements compared to what Goliath had. The shoulders do come up. Hers can actually come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist just below the shoulder there, bicep twist, and the double elbow joint that'll bend up that far. So again, really good almost all the way up on itself, with the wrist that'll twist around and flex back and forth. Then we go to that crunching in just under her chest there, so crunch back and forth and twist around a little, and then she'll twist around at the waist as well. then down to the hips. They can come up pretty close to 90 and out to the side. A little bit of a thigh twist up there, and the double knee joint that can bend up that far back, pretty much kicking herself in the butt with her talon there. And then we get the ankle that will rock back and forth and twist side to side, with the toe joint that will rock back and forth and twist side to side. And just like Goliath, with her feet being like that, we get the tail on the back that moves back and forth, can twist side to side, and has the bendy wire to help get her to stand up. Although it seems like I'm having a much harder time getting her to stand compared to Goliath. Now, accessory wise, she, just like Goliath, does come with a number of different faces we can easily swap out. No different hair pieces this time, so it's always the same one, but we get the different head pieces. So we get a face that's got more of like a stoic face, or just kind of like maybe shocked or something. We get a smiling face that's showing teeth this time, so compared to this one she's got there, so showing some teeth. And then more of like an angry face there, so maybe that's the one we'll switch out. So there's that one again, much better face to go with her, especially when she's being evil, so that's pretty cool. We get additional hands, so we get some grip hands, different size grips though, so a small grip and a wider grip, as well as a set of fist hands. And then we also get an extra little like claw like hand there. Just like Goliath, she comes with her folded down wings, so we get her wings that we can put on her. So there's Demona with her folded wings, so it looks nice on her as well. So we just got her wings with like the purple on the inside and the more bluish color on the outside there, again with that metallic blue design, so that looks pretty nice. And for her main accessory, we get this gun as well, so she comes with the particle beam blaster that she uses, of course a gun made by Xanatos. So we get this gun that we can try and put into her hands. So there's Demona with that gun in her hand. Of course, she did come with the hands to be able to hold it, so a hand with the trigger finger, and then that one wider grip hand can hold on to the gun, whether you want to put in her hand there like that. So that is pretty cool. And of course, as usual, we can switch out her different faces depending on what we want her to look like. But we can bring in that older Demona there, again similar to Goliath. So this older one had much darker colors, whether it be in the main body, it's a little bit darker blue compared to this paler blue color. And then the outfit seems, actually the older one seems to be a little bit lighter in color compared to this newer one that's a little bit darker. But we can see the wing designs gonna look very similar overall between the two. Probably just that metallic stands out a little bit more on the newer design. A little bit different hair there as well, so brighter red on this newer one. So not bad at all for this figure. I like it a lot. Just like I'm having a lot of trouble getting her to stand on her feet, so I've just pretty much got her standing flat-footed now, because that's the only way I can get her to stand. But of course, the big feature with this 2-pack is having our former lovers of Goliath and Demona. And with this, they do also come with the Phoenix Gate, which is this little badge design. It's a magical artifact that allows the user to travel through time and space. Now we see in the show that Demona got the gate back in 975 when she saw her future self coming to prevent the Wyvern massacre, and with this knowledge she vowed to not become her future self and broke the Phoenix Gate in half and gave half of it to Goliath, and they carried it through the centuries that they were separated until modern day when they bring it back together. So we had that whole one, and then our separate one as well that we can give to each of them, that we can bring it back together to make it complete and then use it for time travel once again in the modern day. So it becomes an artifact used in multiple episodes with that. So it's cool that we get it separated as well as together, so we can give either the whole one or the broken pieces to them as well. So that's a fun extra little accessory included with this pack. So that's gonna be it for our 2-pack of Goliath and Demona, our Best Buy exclusive pack. Both are pretty cool. I like having both of these. I like the designs, being able to switch out the faces, and the overall look a little bit better, but they're pretty much the same. So even if you have the first ones and don't want to waste the money on this one, you're perfectly fine with that. You just, like I said, will get the extra heads and the extra hair piece for Goliath, but other than that, you're not really missing out on anything. So like I said, look cool. I like these much more, but they're not necessary. You can easily deal with the first ones. But let me know what you thought of these two figures though down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.